Welcome to the Getting Real with Hilary show, where ordinary heroes tell extraordinary stories during unique and never been heard before conversations with your host, Hilary Arno Burns. Hilary's unique listening and way of asking questions results in conversations that aren't usually talked about, so you can create the life that you really want but are afraid you can't really have. We are demonstrating the greatness in the human spirit and creating a world where we all reclaim our birthright of joy, happiness, purpose, and passion. Now, here's your host, Hilary Arno Burns. Welcome to the Getting Real with Hilary show, and today we have a very special guest. Her name is Ann Bolinger-McQuade. She is the award-winning author of Everyday Oracles. She helps people find comfort and connection by recognizing meaningful signs in everyday life. And you are going to love this. I just finished her book, and I am blown away by all the signs that are out there. Hello.
Hello. Great to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I was trying to review how you got into this. Were you always seeing signs? I know your father, I think you were Native American a little bit. And
Right.
why
It
don't
was
you tell us the background?
kind of like a game that maybe a lot of us play this game, which is like you see things, you see images, especially clouds. You see something and you go, oh, it looks like so and so. And then you realize there's a message. So all my life, my family has just done that. We've seen like when a cardinal would show up after my uncle died, we knew that was his spirit coming. So I just always had this inclination of understanding that the universe worked that way. But at one point, and we can go back and talk about when, let me say one thing.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll write it down. Yep.
Realize there's actually a formula for how it operates, and we can talk about that later, but that was a little piece I was going to give there. That it's just not seeing them. It's when we recognize there's a formula that we can actually look at the formula and go, oh, this fits. Oh, that's how it was working. So
Okay. When you say you knew it was your uncle who was the cardinal, how did you know?
just, how we know our intuition? It's that thing that the whole family goes, oh, that's so and so. Everybody would see the cardinal. The cardinal, my Uncle Herb, would show up at family gatherings. The cardinal would show up after he was a Methodist minister. I think that's fun that it was a cardinal.
Oh, yeah.
Humor.
So you just knew. It
Everybody,
wasn't logical. You just knew.
there you go. There you go. Not logical.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. So all your life, your whole family did this. This wasn't something weird. It's just what you did.
Just
Yeah.
what we did. It was just there. It was natural and very natural.
Okay.
And other things too. When you see something, you see a tree maybe. You're pulled to that tree and you feel a connection to the tree. It's that universal because everything's alive and interacting with us. So when we move out of it, I love it that you use logical. The logical over a little bit and let the intuition come in and listen to that and go.
And how do you move it over?
It's okay. There's, I'm sure, a good way to break this down, but that's the tricky bit.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's in, and I'm not a scientist, but let's look at the front of your brain. If you can think about what is this logic, or am I tuning into something else? Let yourself go into a question and answer. Look at it and discern. Is it intuition or is it something else? Right there is where you're going to catch it. Right there is where you're going to catch it. Otherwise, if you just intuit it, it's easy to turn it. It's easy to look away. It's easy to not hear. But if you go, wait, is this something else? Is something speaking to me? Fit into my logical form? If it doesn't, we've tuned in further. Intuition is a portal. It's a
feeling, right?
It's a feeling that comes as a voice sometimes. I had a feeling here. We'll go into something that we've talked about before. Then I had a feeling, a thought form in my mind. Intuition said, "Get a mammogram, get a mammogram, get a mammogram," and it was not like it was like, "Go get a mammogram." My mother had had breast cancer, had a mastectomy. I never worried about it, but here it was. I heard that. When I heard it, I went, "That's not me saying that.
Mm.
That's something more." That was huge to me. When I realized that the universe could click in through my intuition and let me know what was going in my body that my logical mind had no way to know this, I wasn't getting I wasn't getting checked. So there's where we can start to see things that don't fit into the logic. Look again. Look again. Is this intuition? Is this the universe saying, "Look over here, look over here," and then look at and we'll get into it later, but in the book, in Everyday Oracles, we have the formula for the need, the delivery system, and the message. That's how the universe is gonna speak to you. So you can break it down. There's your logic. There's your logic. There's a formula.
What was it? Need, delivery system, and what?
There's a need, and
Yeah.
then it looks to say, "Is it a bird? What can we do here to make this need?" This person, like, let's use the intuition to get the mammogram. She's got breast cancer. How could we possibly let her know? I'm pretending I'm the universe speaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, she's got breast cancer. How could we let her know? Try her intuition. She plays with that a lot. Try. So then I got it through my intuition. There was the message, "Go get breast cancer." It was minuscule. It was minuscule at a lumpectomy, and at that point, years ago, radiation and a lot that they might not do now, but it was the universe going, "Wait, there's a problem there. I didn't know it. There's a problem there. How can we work with her? Oh, try her intuition. We know this person's comfortable with that." Somebody else they'd have found it a different way. I'm now ad-libbing on fun ideas. Somebody else might have looked at an article and gone, "Wait, something in that resonates with me."
Mm.
Uh-huh.
But not everybody's aware, because there's plenty of people who don't get the mammograms and get breast cancer and, don't make it. But what's the difference of you getting that message versus someone else, or do you think they're getting it and they just don't hear it?
I think that our messages, I'm gonna not quite I'm gonna set what you asked me over here and say, I think that our messages are designed to resonate with us. Somebody else is gonna get it a different way. Somebody else, if the universe was working with them to try to say, "Hey, sweetie, you've got breast cancer. You need to find it." Maybe there'd be a book laying around they might be
Mm.
pick something up and go, "Wow, I wonder if I should check that out." I think it resonates so personally with the individual, and I don't believe that anybody you and I have had a chance to talk a little bit and talked about all kinds of different things. If we're on the spiritual path, you realize that if we don't learn to listen, it comes back to us. It just keeps coming back to us. It'll come dressed in different clothes, but if there's a lesson we're supposed to learn in life, it keeps coming back to us. So will your personal oracle messages. They'll find other ways to show you. It's not, "Oh, if you don't find it now, you're sunk." You're going to the universe is designed to work with us. It's designed individually in each person. It's so exciting.
Do you think, though, that the universe is working with everyone and
Ab
some people just don't hear it, or they're not aware, or they don't believe it, so they're
Yes.
not listening?
Yes, 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 yes. 100%.
Okay.
And that's why I think it'll keep coming back and going, "Oh, let's dress it up this way. Let's dress
Okay.
it up this way." Yeah.
Hmm.
Everybody all over the world. We're international now with our different things that we do, and you see people in all these other countries. It makes my heart sing when I see all these other countries that are tuning into different, like on our website and all. You'll see people from Hong Kong, and that just came into my mind. All these other ones that I wouldn't think about. So yeah, all of us, all of us. We're safer. Here's the bottom line. I'm jumping all over, but jump with me, please. We're safer than we realize. The universe is designed to respond to we're ultimately safer than we realize. That's all very true. We are in a nightmare situation around the world right now in 26 when this is being recorded with, and it's all over. It's not just in the US, it's all over. We're safer because there is no death and the universe is designed to respond to our needs.
But some people have accidents. Some people die. Some people. So when you say we're safer, is that because when you die, you go up? You don't really.
Where you go somewhere like my husband, he passed. My husband stayed. My husband is now, and I'll barely talk about it. He had a stroke, tried to stay in his body for 6 months. It was massive. When he did pass, he stayed. He's active with all kinds of different people, not just me. He stayed. He was surprised he stayed. He's a NASA engineer. He was the chief engineer on the first space shuttle. So he's all the intellectual thing. And when he stayed, he was delightfully surprised. And
What do you mean he stayed?
his body's gone.
Yeah.
I can feel there. I'm going to throw a book out here for you guys. Let me find it again. It's Mark Anthony has a book called The Afterlife Energy. That's that electromagnetic energy. I can't get the title of it right now. I'll get it in a minute. It'll come to me. But it talks about electromagnetic energy is the afterlife frequency. Mark Anthony is the author of the book. It's, I think, the afterlife frequency. It's a tingling. Think about all of us. Haven't we always heard things like you feel like people walk through a cemetery and they get a chill up their back? There's electromagnet. The more you look into it, which I'm not scientific, but because of Kenneth, I tiptoe into things like that. You can feel it in your body. So it started with that, and then a whole lot of other things.
When did he pass away?
He passed in 2014.
Wow. Okay.
And so now we've written a book, and it is very it's over 60 documents, photo documents and other things. He works with other people. He's worked with my son when my son had heart issues and things that were photographable. This is a bodysuit that we're in right now. We're in our bodysuit, and when it's gone, we're not gone. We're just out of our bodysuit. How's that for a turn? Took quite a turn, didn't we, out of everyday oracles?
Yeah, no, that's okay. I've heard skin bag. I've heard other term.
Well,
garment. I've heard it's a garment. Our body is just a garment.
It is. And here's something, since we brought Kenneth in, and we'll stop in a second, but this is something that we've got and I have printed right down here. So Kenneth equated, because he was involved in the space program, Kenneth equated an orb. Some of us are getting orb pictures when we take photos with our camera. He equated an orb to a spacesuit. Stick with me a minute. Okay. Both are designed as temporary travel gear for specific atmospheres, just as a physical birthday suit, this thing, as a physical birthday suit is temporary travel gear for the immortal soul. Temporary travel gear for the immortal soul. We forget we're immortal, or are afraid to believe it because it sounds almost too good to be true.
Right.
But it's not. It's true.
So part of when I was reading your book, and it's right behind you. Let's see if I can hold it up. I have this weird background thing. Oh, there it is.
We're dancing books.
There it is.
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
So when I was reading it, and I know this is my thing, but I'm wondering if anyone else has it, is like, yeah, I can't hear that. Or no, I'll tell you what I do have. I have been talking to dead people for a long time. I've been feeling them. I have conversations with them. So I do. So it's not like I don't. But in my mind, and that just might be the thinking brain, is always telling me, you don't see that. You can't do that. Ann can do it, but you can't. Meanwhile, I have conversations. Do you know what I mean? So
100%.
just a silliness that I think I listen to it like it's the truth, that I can't. Or the sky thing. Last night I saw this because I was like, well, I can't see anything in the clouds. I'm not that creative. But anyway, yesterday I was sitting on my deck and I see was like eyes and hair like my mom had, and I think there was arms out, but it was almost like a mermaid. And I said, Haley, look, does that look like grandma? Well, by the time she came, the eyes were filled in. So she was like, she didn't see it,
Right.
but I saw it. I did see it.
Of course you did. And you know what I found out? Let's bring Kenneth in one more time.
Okay.
Oh, because of this book, Kenneth has shown me, and I have photos of it in the book that's coming out. We can't order it yet, but we'll tell you about it when it's ready. Anyway, when you're out of your body, you can project your image on things. Your mother was projecting her image. If I'm aligning it with what we have a photo document of.
Yeah.
On a guest house that we have where we had work being done and I didn't know it was going to be done, and the person doing it took a photo to show me. I was out of town. They showed me the image of what was done. There's the image of my husband and we have a grandson who went, oh, look, you can even see the collar on his shirt. So he had projected his image above the guest house, and she didn't even know it. She took the picture of the guest house. She sent me that. I said, did you just see what you sent me? So you did.
Now, is that in the book?
That's not this book. That
is
is
not this book. Okay.
coming out. We'll let you know when that. But I brought it up because you did see your mother. And here's something else that I would love to. We could talk. You and I, we've talked enough. Talk all day. We'll go do that.
And when you say evidence of what? Like, what are we trying to prove, or what are we? I mean, I know it's comforting to go, oh, there's my mom. She's not. I mean, on some level, she just passed away a month ago. For people who don't know, I don't know when this will air, but I want to call her. I want to be able to hug her. So it's nice to see her in the sky, but it's like, all right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know.
Oh, I hear you. There's a missing piece there for you.
Yeah.
Talking about, and I'd like to offer some other ideas about that missing piece. I know a lot of people that talk to their person that's no longer in their body. Just talk to them all the time. You say if you feel weird, but if you're alone, who cares? If you're in a crowd, you might get some attention. But if you're talking to something, but I'm being way too playful here. But it's like,
but I talk in my head. I don't talk out loud.
Or try talking out loud. If you hear now, I'm winging this. If you talk out loud, it'll move it out of your head. It's like you've got this thing in your mind that is so imaginary and elusive. Bring it, say it, make it verbal, get it out there into this dimension where you're talking. And I don't know, see if that makes a difference. Hey, mom, whatever you say, what are your favorite things? Whatever you want to say to her, say it. See if she'll answer you back. That, chances are, I'd be real surprised if you hear, she might answer you through music. Sometimes a song will play that I think a lot of that happens for a lot of people. It reminds you of someone. Play with your mother that way. See if she wants to play with you. Just say, Mom, if this appeals to you, we're just talking about how to create your body of evidence here. Hey, Mom, do you want to play? Remember how we used to do whatever, fill in the blank? Does that appeal to you at all? As far as a way to bring it out of that, not sure.
But I feel like I'm talking to her inside my head. I feel like she is answering.
I agree. Okay, well, 100% I agree. Of course, she's talking to you in your head. Yeah, that would just be 2 dimensions, 100%.
So you're saying if I did it out loud,
It'd be another way. It'd just be another way. It'd be dance with her. Kenneth and I dance all the time. Or keep it all in your mind. Keep it in your heart. All these places that we have such a propensity to think of ourselves in this, it's all the body thing. Go into all these other dimensions that you're already going into.
So back to when you said it's it's evidence for your body of work. Like what are we trying to prove? Or do you know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Like,
Well,
okay, you see a cloud, you see a dog. I mean, I think it's great, but and maybe there's not a point. But you know
you
what I'm saying?
need a point. Nobody would have to have a point, but in my world
Yeah.
of everyday oracles and in my world of realizing that we're all ultimately safer than we realize, it's
Hmm.
giving me that. It's grounding me to say, look, I found all these things that are reassuring me that yes, this is really going on. It is really happening. And that's why documenting things to me give you the body of proof. We don't have to have, we can live forever so happily just knowing it, having it, and letting it just be a part of our life that sits there and is comforting to us. I'm looking right now, I guess, toward comfort. The thing for the things that comfort us, that make us realize we are safer than we realize. I want to tell you too that early on when I said we're all ultimately safer than we realize, for all my life, from the time came in, my first memory of anything like that, I always knew I was safe. That doesn't sound logical. You can probably tell if you don't already know me that I'm an incredibly optimistic person. My mind all automatically goes, where's the good? Where's the good? And it finds it, or it'll go, where's the bad? Can I deal with it? Okay, here's the good. I'm not Pollyanna at all, but I do like to feel better than I like to feel bad. So I've just always been that way. So I always knew in my being that we're safer than we realize. When my husband Kenneth passed, he altered that. He edited it. He is the ultimately safer because it sounds like hear me sitting here being a human being in my physical body. I can say that, but I can sound like Pollyanna. When I realize that my person who's right here with me all the time and every place else, once we're out of our body, we're not even limited. I'm sure that those of us that study these things, we're all over the place. He can be with me and working with all these other people. But Kenneth now can tell us from being out of his body, you are safe. We are all safe. You just can't see it we can't be there because of our bodies. We're so physical.
And
I,
how does he tell you that?
oh, we talk all the time. He tells me in things that I see, like I mentioned earlier, the contractor that was working on a house that sent me the image that was the picture of him above the house. That's a body of evidence proof. When somebody else sends it to you, and you didn't have your hands on it at any way, and you know and I know, let's bring it back to that photo and I'll own it. That photo of my husband that I showed to everybody, but I showed it to a grandchild who went, oh my gosh, look, Grandma's even got his collar on. There's proof. If you want it, and if you don't need it, you don't need it.
But how does, like you said, and I'm not trying to be problematic. I'm just
Oh,
asking.
no.
Okay. So when you say that when you lost him, he told you you were safe.
Well, first all, here's something that I didn't lose him. I lost his body.
Right. Okay. When you lost his body.
Let's just start going back there because once you lose the body, and I
Mhm.
realized that he and I never talked about him staying with me. We have a very love of our life relationship. We always wanted that. We didn't know that was even possible. So for him to get out of his physical body as a NASA scientist and realize he's still around, whew, that's huge. Because you talk about having a scientific framework to go with. For me, I've always been in it, and it made that kind of sense to me. I didn't need that. So, I just think there are some of us that need it more than others. Some of us will also, I'm jumping around. I want to jump one other place. Mediums. Uh, I have a colleague of mine that I have been working with off and on for over 20 years. Her name's um, Tina Powers. Boy, I'm just really, my mind's everywhere. Her name's Tina Powers. She we had been working on all kinds of different things, shows, different things. And I called her after his body shut down and I could still feel he was around me. And I called her to say, could she come to this special location? We were going to go, I was going to rent a room for our anniversary. He and I were going to be there. Wondered if she could help me tune in a little bit more with what was going on. And she called me and told me all kinds of things from him. From him, he could have said everything and I couldn't have heard him. But you, if you get the right medium who actually like Mark Anthony, Tina Powers, other lots of, George Luco is actually in the book. There's something in the book that I share that he does. They're around and they can give you that link that will tell you. She also told me that he wanted me to know he was going to channel a book through me. So mediums, again, if we want to go that course and get a validation, if we don't, leave it be and be where I'm not at all suggesting that we all need this to survive. But I think when we realize how safe we are, it's like a cozy blanket. Well, more than that. Yeah.
So many things. Okay. So
sorry.
So the book that he channeled, is it the next book? It's the next book, not this one, right? Okay.
Not this book. The one that you'll find, people, that this book is available now. It's been available all those years. I've been doing interviews with people that interviewed me as soon as it came out. So the book, Everyday Oracles, is available now. Things in there that do validate the people we've lost, like we did already mention. My dad, I don't know if we were on camera, but when my dad passed 10 years later, I was walking a labyrinth. This is the Expect the Unexpected and You Won't Be Disappointed. That's the chapter in the Everyday Oracles book. And I'm walking with a woman that I had been in a workshop, and exactly.
Father.
And here's my dad. And
whoops.
And I just am walking along and I had the camera. I take a picture and I continue walking because I was in the labyrinth. And the woman, when we got out, she said, "What were you doing?" And I said, I took a picture. I did not frame the photo. I didn't do anything, but I just knew it was there. So point being, there's life after life things, quite a few of them. Expect the unexpected and you won't be disappointed. There's a lot of life after life is just part of life during our time in our bodies. There's a difference between trying to cram something down someone's throat and opening a window and letting something come into them that they could get their own version of it. So I'm very much for being real. Isn't that part of your whole getting real?
Getting real with Hilary, yes, being real. Well, that's one of my lessons. We were talking about sacrifice and what you're letting go of.
Yeah.
And part of mine is thinking I need to be so careful and, not talk about stuff that I would want to talk about. That would be something to let go of.
Yeah.
The not doing it, because I might be opening a window, as you said. Yeah.
Oh, and I love for you to realize that, because isn't that empowering when you realize that you might really benefit someone, like, because you're not shoving it down them. But if you just open a window and something flies in at them, that wouldn't, on down the road, even if you plant I believe in planting seeds, where you plant a seed and it blossoms, we never know. And Hilary, again, thank you for your getting real with. That's key. That's so key. It really is.
The reason. All right, let's go to our commercial break. We'll be right back. I'm just going to make a note so I can tell you how this all started. But all right, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
What if school could be a place where every child feels safe to be themselves? Right now, kids are growing up in a complicated world. They're learning how to listen, how to care, and how to find their voice. Kokori's daily digital calendar of research-backed lessons helps children build confidence, empathy, and resilience through joyful play-based learning. When children feel connected and supported, they don't just learn more, they grow into kinder, braver humans. Kokori, helping kids grow together.
Hey, it's Hilary from the Getting Real with Hilary show. Life can be messy, raw, and real. And sometimes we're afraid to feel vulnerable. We're afraid to be that real self. Well, that's exactly what the Getting Real with Hilary show and Getting Real movement is all about. Being our true selves. Every week, I bring you stories of transformation, authenticity, and hope. People getting real with their struggles, their faith, and their breakthroughs. So don't miss a thing. Subscribe to my weekly newsletter today. You'll get stories, links to everything new, and how to create a life you love every week directly to your inbox. You can also find my books on Amazon. My courageous and riveting memoir, The Second Piece of French Toast, in case you feel stuck in your life and want to get inspired. How I came out about my no sex life and my marriage, and my second book, Real Talk. That one will get you speaking up in ways you've been too afraid to do so, and really creating amazing freedom. And my third book, How to Stop Fixing Yourself and Start Having Fun, the name is called Your Bullshit is Your Blessing. Find links to everything and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Getting Real with Hilary, and you'll find the links in the header. So, visit, and you can also visit gettingrealwithhilary.com, because the real you is worth it and wants to come out. What if spiritual transformation didn't have to feel confusing or out of reach? When I met Dr. Kay Narayan, a spiritual teacher and healer, what struck me most wasn't just his presence. It was how simple he made something that can feel so complex. In his book, Spiritual Transformation, 12 Steps to Freedom, Joy, and Your Highest Life, he breaks it down into a clear, step-by-step process, so you're not just inspired, you actually know what to do. This isn't about rare experiences or abstract ideas. It's practical, it's logical, and it's written in a way that just makes sense. And what I experienced myself was a feeling of lightness, of ease, of finally understanding. If you've been searching for something deeper, but want it to feel real and accessible, this is for you. You can get a free copy of his book right now. Just cover shipping and handling. The link is below, because the life you're looking for might be simpler than you think. Have you tried diet after diet and workout after workout, only to be frustrated by the lack of results? What if you had a coach who created a plan specifically for your body, your goals, and your lifestyle? Meet Kayvon Bu of Hammer Fitness. Kayvon helps people lose body fat, build lean muscle, and transform their bodies through personalized fitness coaching, customized nutrition plans, and ongoing adjustments as their bodies change and adapt. The results speak for themselves. Just look at these incredible client transformations. If you're ready to stop guessing and start seeing results, contact Kayvon Bu today on Instagram at kayvon.bu or by phone at 437-774-5688. Your transformation starts with one decision. Make it today. And thank you, as always, to our sponsors. You saw their commercials. And now we're going to continue this amazing conversation with Ann. Wow. Woo. Okay. So the reason why I started getting real with Hilary was this is what I say. I was a people-pleasing, pleasant phony who, I was the way I thought I was supposed to be, trying not to get people upset, thinking I had to keep everyone happy, and afraid that if I was my real self, they would leave. I mean, I think that's the bottom line. I think everyone has a different thing. Like, you have to keep people happy. One friend said, she didn't want to get beat up
oh, of one. There are different reasons. I didn't want to get yelled at, criticized.
Right.
But so to be able to be my real self, and it seems like a risk, but it's not actually a risk. The more real I am, the better off it is. But it feels like you're risking something.
It
So
does. Yeah.
so I had one friend, I always laugh because when she was coming on the show, she said, "Well, would you like me to be appropriate?" And I said, "Please don't be." That would be terrible if you were appropriate
You're perfect.
or politically correct. I mean, there's so many things that we can't do anymore, that we can't be or we can't say. And I don't know. That's not what this is about. This is about being able to talk about stuff like this, and some people might not like it, or maybe we are opening a window. So, you know,
Being our authentic
it's wild. Yeah.
You're talking that's what I'm hearing you say. Being our authentic selves takes courage sometimes, because of the society that we live in, and I believe that we can be our authentic selves without injuring other people, which, I think that politically correct and all that, I just ventured in that a little bit. But I think being our authentic selves, that's where that's where the soul lives.
Yeah. Yes. And that's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
And, one of the things I saw over the weekend, I was in this crazy course and I was afraid to tell people that I didn't know what I was doing. Everyone seemed they were making all this money and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I really don't know what I'm offering. I don't know. I've tried a lot of things. They didn't work and I don't know. And I thought they'd be like, well, get out, No, they were wonderful. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, so to be able to say the truth is so freeing and people aren't leaving. And if they do, then they weren't supposed to stay. But I think, I don't know. I've always thought I should be more like my mom. My mom was very perky and peppy. That's the story I have. She was perky and peppy and I'm not. Like you were saying you would rather feel good than bad or something.
Right.
Like my default is something's wrong and now what?
Right.
And but I thought that was wrong.
Yep.
So I would hide it, which made it worse,
Right.
which made me hate all the happy people. Do you know what I mean? Thinking there was something wrong with me. But it's like, do you know what it's like this vicious circle, but to be able to just say, yeah, that's how I wake up. Something's wrong, something hurts, whatever. And then when I can accept it,
Right.
then I can be happy.
I
start laughing about it. Oh, today's version was this, ha ha ha.
That's
Instead of
beautiful.
thinking I have to hide that, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense. And, don't know if anybody else remembers this, but there was a book forever ago. I'm okay, you're okay.
Oh.
I don't know if you remember that, but
Yeah.
basically was saying we're all okay. Some of us I like to feel good. I've got another really close friend that she invites trauma. She thrives in it, and there are her lessons. And she's a powerhouse of a woman. And so I think that we're also beautifully.
Why does she invite trauma? Like for fun or to heal it?
For her lessons. She's deep in it, learning them and teaching other people, and she's a powerhouse. And so she goes into the dark. And like she would not really, I'm being playful now. She comes into the dark, wrings its neck and brings it out, the part of it that's left,
Yeah.
So, and we are very close friends. We're being who we are. I will see all that there and go, I think I see that. I'll go over here. She goes, oh, man, I'm going over there. That's how beautiful we are. We are so beautiful. You heard us saying, I want to share this one real quick.
Yeah.
When you realize, I don't know where it came from, but it's when you realize who you truly are. You are beautiful beyond your dreams. We're beautiful beyond our dreams.
And I think, a lot of times when we don't say stuff, like the things, it took me years. I did a lot of transformation and I could start saying stuff. There's shame. But when you can say it out loud, you realize the shame disappears. It just goes away. Like there's something about hiding things that makes you feel like there's something wrong or you're the only one. And when you can say it out loud, it's like, oh,
Oh, that's
No big. It's like no big deal. No big deal. Yeah,
it's like a load
it's
lifts.
huge. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. So, woo. All right. All right. So what do you want to do? You want? I mean, obviously, people, if they haven't gotten your book, they can get Everyday Oracles. You teach people how to see them and how to quiet your mind, and there's so many beautiful pictures in here as well. Would you like to talk more about that?
barely tiptoe on the last thing you said, but I think
Okay.
what I'd like to do is just do, maybe if I haven't planned this, but if we're talking about the everyday oracles, this book will give anybody who is intrigued with all this idea of just decoding. The subtitle is Decoding the Divine Messages That Are All Around Us. So
Mm,
if you get into a thing where you're one of these, like a seeker, there was a time you and I talked about having followed a lot of people, Greg Braden, Wayne Dyer, all these people. If we're a seeker, we like to decode things, and
mm,
or even if you're not a seeker, decoding things, So this book will give you tips and tools on how, in addition to all the things we all know how to do, maybe some we haven't thought about. So it's packed full. It's kind of a guidebook, yeah, it would be like a guidebook, I guess, for someone who goes, well, maybe I'll just check it. Again, I mentioned earlier, but there's 175. These are not my stories. These are stories that we gathered once I started to put the book together. 175 stories of different people that will give examples of how these personal oracles manifest to different people. So when I was creating this, it gives it legs to me. It's like it's not Anne talking about this. It's Anne gathering together this whole community. I think that's where I'd like to be right now. I'd like to be think about if we want to be part of a community that sees the world. Here, I'm going to go back into what I've been saying. So, sees that the world is a safer place than sometimes it would appear. Sees that we can let go of some of that fear of death because we'll leave our bodies, but there's more. There's more.
mhm.
And so I think that this book has all kinds of things on that can help people dig in and look around and find out other people's experiences and realize that, like you were saying something earlier about, you have all these things happen, but you kind of do and don't trust them. I think reading something like this, hopefully the purpose behind it is that it makes us all realize we can trust all those things, that if we think that some of the things that we're experiencing are, well, just read what's going on in here. Here, I'm going to bring out an example. We talked about mediums, George Lugo, and I haven't read this one for a while, but he's in the book. And I was talking to him years ago. So this came out in 13. So years ago, I was talking to George Lugo. Never been around him that much since then, but he was here in Arizona on a circuit. And we were talking about something that happened to him. And he actually had, and I haven't read it for a long time, but he, being a medium, he had a phone call from someone once on his cell phone. And
Mm,
they had an interrupted, you probably remembered, he had a conversation. It was said whatever the man's name was, hi, so and so, and the guy went, it's beautifully or whatever, and he goes, for whatever reason they were interrupted 3 times. He found out later that this friend of his had been out of his body, dead, for a long time. The father had been paying to keep the cell phone active, and the friend of of George Lugo's, had called George Lugo on the phone that the father had been paying for.
mm.
Stuff out there, guys.
And then he told the father, he had a message for the father.
Yes.
So he called that number and the father answered and he said, Barry said he's okay. It's beautiful where he is. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was cool. Yeah.
So there, if we think I like all kinds of weird, there's so many things that get thrown at all this weird, or that's the only one that is coming to my mind right now. But it's joyous. It depends on the light we're shining on it. What's the light we're shining on it? Is it a light that says stay away, don't move closer? Stay away, don't move closer. If it's a light that says your life's richer than you realize, if you want to just go pay attention to some certain things.
Yeah, these stories, I'm just looking at my notes now. There's so many wonderful stories that you tell about people who had, the one with the buzzards and the jackrabbit. The guy was going to do surgery, and yeah, that's
Dr. Alan Hamilton. This is mine. I love that you brought that up. So we're talking about all the little things that we talked about that are the simple things. This is a man who's in Tucson, Arizona, a neurosurgeon, going in to do surgery on a brain, and he's driving out to the hospital. It doesn't matter which one, I don't even remember, but he's driving to the hospital and he sees a carcass with buzzards feeding on it. And he knows that
with a jackrabbit. It was a rabbit.
Rabbit. See, you've read it recently. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, no, I took notes. Otherwise, I would have forgotten too. But that was important because there was something about when he went in there. Oh, the wife calls his patient my little bunny.
See, thank you.
And the image of the dead rabbit and the buzzards flashed back into his mind. And he said, I'm not going to do the surgery. Right. And then the guy
had he
had a massive heart attack.
Yep.
And it would have been fatal if they had been in the middle of the surgery.
This is so.
And meanwhile, so the guy survived. But if he had gone, so because he saw the dead jackrabbit with the buzzards, and the wife called the patient my little bunny.
Yes.
That was like, don't do it.
And that, if we're looking at things sounding like, I think a lot of times people who believe in things like this, people think, oh, well, that's just it's their imagination, or they're not scientific minded. This man now, Alan Hamilton now, and I need to bone up on it. He's got a lot more books out. The man he's an incredible surgeon, and he's also a prolific author now, but the book that is in, I think, is this, or the first one that when I knew him barely, The Scalpel and the Soul is the name.
Yes.
Think about that. You've got a doctor with a scalpel, but he realizes that it's more than the scalpel. It is. And when I haven't seen him for quite a few years, I've seen him speak. He's so down to earth and real and other, because he's so elevated because of his knowledge and his intention to go through life. So yeah, stuff's out there. Yeah.
So where did you get all these stories? Did you have to get permission to use them?
For sure. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, all of these they're all firsthand stories. I never went out, as I remember, right? And I want to do kudos to Lynn Weezy Sneeze, who is the editor on this book. She's now still with our team. We have a team of 5 now working in the Everyday Extra Dimension world that I have. She's now doing Instagram and Facebook for Everyday Extra Dimensions. Dimensions team. Lynn Weezy and I, over the years, took a lot of years to put this Everyday Oracles book together all these stories. So it would be us talking to different people and gathering them, but none of these are things. Well, there is one that was read, and it's the article that we showed, the picture of the dog that was something that I saw in a magazine, or it was in the newspaper, I guess. But I don't remember another one like that, but we would validate something, but it's generally everyday people, if you can call Alan Hamilton an everyday person, the Scalpel and the Soul. But there are 175 that are shared with us eagerly by the dog. They're all.
And they would give you permission. They would just say, absolutely. Wow.
Written permission from everybody on that, because
how did you find them all?
Well, I don't even know.
They would just come. Yeah.
And we were a lot of us. There's a whole team of us, even just if you're talking, how when you talk to your friends, all of us who are listening to this, when we talk to our friends and we talk about things, if you talk about something and somebody will feed you something from here to here to here, a lot of it was word of mouth. We never did. I have always had a website before this one we had Oracles in the Sky or Everyday Oracles. That's been around for 20 years. So people would submit to that. People would tell each other stories, and then they would come back to basically Lynn and Lynn Weezy Sneed, and I would then get those and hone them up, and and
Wow.
yeah, a labor of more than love, a labor of purpose.
Wow.
I love to research. I'm a researcher.
Oh, okay.
I like to document things. You know what I'm
Right. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
saying? I'm encouraging anybody that likes to do this. Be careful. Be careful what could happen.
Yeah. Interesting. And then what is your purpose in doing all this? What would you say? Why do you do this?
Because my goal is to make people really realize what I've always realized. That's the goal, I guess. The
Yeah.
goal would be that it's more than just being, I know I'm even hard to be around sometimes. I was told by a couple of people that I have my best and worst quality is the same thing. I'm so positive, that attitude. So I do know that I'm hard driven by that, but so I do know that I like to feel good, as I said earlier, but my purpose in it is this could sound really, I don't know if I've said this out loud, but I believe this is a gift to me from the universe. I believe that the universe, some people call it God, call it spirit, whatever, said, we want this information out there. The
Mm.
formula. Look at her. She'll work her little you know what off, and
Yep.
she really will do that. She'll do it. I've wanted it. I wanted to create work that would make people. At one point, I thought I would gather together stories, quotes from, I already mentioned Wayne Dyer, people like that are very valuable posts. I'd get other people's information. I'd put them together. I even did that. I never got to the place where I worked with an editor, but I gathered things like that. So I
Mm.
always knew I felt like that was something that I could do that would be of value. And I really believe that spirit went, okay, go get her, and then start to be with her every step of the way. And so I believe that it's a gift that I
Yeah.
have access to spirit that will gather all those stories. Dimensions that are all around us are interacting with us and speaking to us all the time. So we have Instagram. You can find these things with the other people that are working with us. They're on everydayextradimensions.com. Will get you onto the website. I think
Okay.
that same without the .com will get you onto the Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
And those are ways right now on the website. We're trying to build a community, but we're in the early stages of that. The man that has the new website that has built that for us also did the one in 2000. You can imagine the difference in technology between those two now. But I just think that anybody that wants to go in and mouse around and find the old one too and find this one, you'll see the things we were talking about today are the changes of how the seeds of all of what we're talking about build into where we are today, which is a curiosity of and a safer acceptance of where we are. So those are the ways that people could get in touch with us. Stay tuned with us and see. I think on Instagram you may be able to weigh in a little bit. We want to build the community. So
Mm.
we want to help stay in touch. Right now we're still developing that. People can do dastardly deeds right now through technology.
Mm.
Our web guys making sure we don't get into anything. We'll always protect people's privacy, and we won't allow people to usurp anything in ours either.
All right. So everydayextradimensions.com
Mhm.
or on Instagram, Everyday Extra Dimensions. Okay.
Right.
And in our last minute, anything else you'd like to leave people with?
Well, you know what I'm going to say, because it's if you get on the website, it's going to say to you, we're all ultimately safer than we realize.
Mm.
And the universe is designed. The universe interacts with us all the time, whether we're listening or not, whether we're looking or not, whether we're smelling or not. But we're safer than we realize. That's what I want.
Isn't that the perfect message for right now? So thank you.
Oh, and thank you. Oh, you're a joy.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for the work that you're doing.
And thank you for being.
You're welcome. All right, bye, everyone.
Thank you for watching this episode. I started getting real with Hilary when I discovered that I was a people-pleasing, pleasant phony and wanted to be more of my real self. We can grow together if you will like the show, subscribe to my channel, and share this episode with your friends and family so that we can have a world that's more real.